Happy New Year 2022. I'm just doing this little video. This is kind of pointed towards the hospital, towards the coroner's office, towards all of you who got the dates of my mum's death wrong. I was in the hospital on the day that my mum died, and I wasn't in the hospital on the day that you guys said that she died. I have the evidence of all the things on my videos, on my playlist, which says, why are the dates wrong? And it means, why are the dates wrong? I don't know why or how or whatever you think that I was there on a different day when I clearly wasn't there. And I don't know how you think that the hospital paperwork and that, it's got 14 days of hospital paperwork, and my mum was only there for 4 days. Four days. She died on the 24th. She didn't die on the 28th. I wasn't there on the 28th. My mum wasn't there on the 28th. My mum was dead. And yet you have all this hospital records. You keep on sending me letters to say that the day that my mum died is a completely different day to the day that my mum died. I'm doing this video and I'm pointing this at the hospital and at the coroner's office. You all got the day that my mum died wrong. And it isn't right. And there's something wrong with the hospital if the chief executive of the hospital gets the day that my mother died wrong. What's that about? Who do you speak to? What is that about? My mum died on the 24th of May 2018. The hospital paperwork goes to the 28th of May 2018 to make it look like my mum died on the 28th of May, and she didn't. She didn't die on the 28th of May 2018. She died on the 24th. You got it wrong, and the hospital paperwork is wrong, and I'm never going to give up on this. I'm just going to say this out loud. This is for the head coroner. It's for the coroner's office. You got the day that my mum died wrong. 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 Something really needs to be done about this. It's just so messed up. How can you trust anything that you guys say? Because if I have evidence that she wasn't dead on that day, she was dead on the 24th, and I've put it on my channel. You need to watch it. You need to watch it right the way through. And I think everybody should watch this. Everyone in the world should watch this. And if you've got a mum that you really care about, see, I feel personally that I let my mum die. That's how I feel. Because of the fact that I have evidence and I have proof that my mum died on a certain day and not on a different day. On the day that I said she died, because I was there. And the proof that I've got because I spoke to that ward manager or site manager as I left the room where my mum's dead body was. I didn't do that on the 28th. I can put up all of the messages between myself and her, and it was on the 24th. It wasn't on the 28th. I wasn't in the hospital on the 28th. My mum, she might have been in the mortuary on the 28th, but she wasn't alive on the 28th. She died on the 24th. And that doctor in the hospital, he wrote it down. Well, it says on the mortuary witness statement the 24th. It clearly says the 24th. How the hell you're reading that as the 28th, I have no idea, but it's just bollocks. Absolute crap. It says on the mortuary witness statement 24th. In no place on that witness statement does it say the date 28th. It does say the date 29th underneath, but I've been told that that's the date my mum's body was released from the mortuary. You need to do something about this, because I feel sorry for every single person that goes into your hospital. That, you know, what do you do? Do you write everything down wrong? It just baffles me that the head of the coroner's office or the head of the hospital can write down all these dates so wrong. I mean, what was it? Did the hospital and the coroner's office set myself and my mother up because my mum was there for 4 days and not 14 days? To me, it's a setup, isn't it? Like, why would you do that? Did the hospital have something to do with my mum's death? Did the coroner's office have something to do with my mum's death? I've tried to report it to the police, but the police are the coroner's office, and the coroner's office is the police. So who do you trust? If this is... it's just crazy. Who do you trust? Who do you report things to? I think you should all watch my videos that I've put on YouTube, on my channel, all shorts, why are the dates wrong? Please watch all of them, because then you can see for yourselves. And then if someone in your family perhaps goes into hospital, let's hope that they don't make this huge mistake like they've done with my mum. My mum died. She hurt her ankle. She told me she'd hurt her ankle, her shin. And then 4 days later, she died. I was told that she had a femoral pin fitted on the 22nd of May. Now, if you ask any family members of mine or friends of mine, close friends of mine, ask them what significant day is the 22nd of May. See, I think that they whoever did this, did it for a reason, and it was to make it as traumatic as possible, to make me forget. And it did make me forget, because it was fucking awful to see my mum. I can see her when I shut my eyes. Do you know what I mean? It's not right. It's just not right at all. So I hope something's done about this, because I'm never going to give up, and I'm never going to stop putting these videos up until something is done. Devon and Cornwall Police are absolute dead loss. Don't bother ringing them up. They won't help you on anything. I've tried to report all this hacking. I've got absolute proof of hacking on my channel, on my Facebook account, on all my devices. I hired a forensic investigation team to look into all the things. I've got all the evidence from the forensic investigation team. I've got all the evidence from on my channel. Just look on my channel and watch these. And Happy New Year. I hope it's a better year. I hope it's a better year for me, so that I don't have to keep going through this every day. But unless the police, Devon and Cornwall Police, don't do anything, so unless the police in somewhere in the world, unless they do something about this, perhaps the police in other parts of the country could look at my evidence, because all the evidence that I've put onto my channel is factual evidence. And I'd like people to watch it, and I'd like people to go and have a look at it. I just want people to have a look at it all. Check out all the different videos. Check out all the hospital paperwork that's got things written on where my mum wasn't in hospital. The paperwork itself looks like it's written by 3 different people to fill in all the gaps. It's all on old paperwork from between 2006 and 2016. It's basically all my mum's old hospital records, all mixed up together with different things written on by 3 different people. And that's it. And that's what it is. And it was a setup, I believe. I believe that myself and my mum were set up to go into the hospital on the 21st of May 2018, being told that my mum, being told by my mum that she'd hurt her ankle, her shin, and then being told that the hospital had given her an operation a day later on the 22nd to fit a femoral pin. I didn't know it was a femoral pin. I got told that she fractured her hip. I still couldn't understand. She got driven to the hospital in the passenger seat of a car, and she was in the car for an hour and a half. I think it's disgusting. I think the hospital is disgusting. I think the coroner's office is disgusting for telling these lies, because they're lies. When you tell an untruth, it's a lie. And police and coroner's offices and hospitals shouldn't tell lies. It needs to be found out. It needs to be made public. And this is what I'm doing.